I am uploading this video at 1 AM on August 2nd, 2020. It was a year ago, on August 2nd, 2019, that the WCPW / Defiant Wrestling YouTube channel uploaded a YouTube video announcing the closure of the promotion. 1 year on, we're going to look at the history of WCPW and look at the reasons that led to its closure, as well as looking back at all the happy memories that this promotion gave you and I. What's going on, guys? It's Tom or Thompson Wrestling, and today we're going to be discussing the rise and fall of WhatCulture Pro Wrestling / Defiant Wrestling in what is easily my most requested video of all time. Like, seriously. Before we do get into it though, I would like to thank my Patreon supporters: Marky D, Alan Barkley, Ephraim Martin, Gravedigger33, Jonathan Thompson, Cedric Cowan, NX Gamer, First Phil, Jackery Williams, Josh Nolan, Steve Wingfield, Magpie, and Steve. If you guys want to see more exclusive content from me, as well as getting other perks, check out my Patreon, links down below. In the next week, I'm going to have a classic pay-per-view review of a WCPW show. Which one? I don't know. I'm a review on my Patreon, so check out my Patreon down below. It would really help me during these trying times and would be very much appreciated. But how about we stop wasting time and let's get into this video.
Hey, this is your Olympic hero Kurt Angle, and you are watching Top 10 Wrestling. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
During 2015 to 2016, the WhatCulture Wrestling YouTube channel was getting very popular and was quickly cementing themselves as the #1 wrestling YouTube channel. WhatCulture then decided, with their surging popularity, that they were going to take a risk and start a brand new project. That project being their very own wrestling promotion. And on May 25th, 2016, that idea was brought to life and WhatCulture Pro Wrestling, or WCPW for short, was announced to the world with major fanfare. Over the next coming weeks, WhatCulture would begin announcing different wrestlers to appear at their next coming tapings, including Will Ospreay, Damien Sandow, Jay Lethal, Martin Kirby, Primate, Joe Hendry, Big Damo, and more. The first episode of WCPW Loaded was uploaded in parts to the WhatCulture Wrestling YouTube channel throughout June, featuring Big Damo vs Joe Hendry in a #1 contenders match for the WCPW title as the main event, won by Big Damo, and this show overall was seen as a success and many people enjoyed it. WCPW were attracting stars very quickly. Literally the very next week's show featured Ring of Honor champion Jay Lethal defending his title against Ligero. In WCPW's second episode, they were having a wrestler as big as Jay Lethal defending a prestigious title. Like, that's huge. All these shows were building up to the first WCPW pay-per-view, which was aired for free on YouTube, called Built to Destroy, which featured a blockbuster card, including Jay Lethal defeating Noam Dar to retain his title, and Big Damo defeating Rampage to become the first ever WCPW champion. WCPW was originally airing on the WhatCulture channel, but the pay-per-view was aired on a different channel, and all future programming would air on this channel too. It was basically a WCPW YouTube channel dedicated to WCPW, so the WhatCulture Wrestling channel wasn't getting flooded. As well as this, the location of WCPW would move from a warehouse to the O2 Academy in Newcastle, a big upgrade in the venue, and the next few weeks of Loaded would see some crazy matches, including Damien Sandow vs Doug Williams and Will Ospreay vs Martin Kirby. The next pay-per-view, called Stacked, would come around in September, and it was stacked. We saw Moose, EC3, Pete Dunne, Drew McIntyre, Will Ospreay, and Marty Scurll all competing in matches, as well as Tegan Knox becoming the first WCPW Women's Champion, and Joseph Connors claiming the WCPW World Championship from Big Damo. On the 10th of September 2016 Loaded episode, Joe Hendry won the Kurt Angle Invitational Rumble, where the winner would face Kurt Angle at the upcoming pay-per-view, which, let me reiterate, WCPW had scored Kurt freaking Angle. The match would took place at their Refuse to Lose pay-per-view, which would be WCPW's first ever live paid pay-per-view, and this show was stacked. Minoru Suzuki was there facing Joe Coffey, Cody Rhodes defeated Doug Williams, El Ligero defeated Alberto Del Rio and Travis Banks to win the new WCPW Internet title, and Kurt Angle defeated Joe Hendry. While this show seemed really good, it actually received a fair bit of backlash. As it was their first live pay-per-view, it had lots of technical issues, and to many viewers, the live stream was completely unwatchable. Ouch. The next pay-per-view would be pre-taped and free once again, while they figured out how to fix the issues for when they would return to live pay-per-views, and this event was True Legacy, by the way, their first show outside of Newcastle, which featured Kurt Angle versus Cody Rhodes as the main event. Major stuff. The final show of 2016 was Delete WCPW, a show built around Broken Matt Hardy, who faced Bully Ray on this show. Also on this show, Cody Rhodes won the Internet title, Drew McIntyre won the World title, and hey, John Morrison was there too. The star power that WCPW was attracting was genuinely insane. No British indie promotion was doing it like they were. So that was the first 6 months of WCPW, an amazing start. So what's next? Well, on January 18th, 2017, WhatCulture Pro Wrestling announced the Pro Wrestling World Cup, a 64-man multinational tournament along with mini qualifying tournaments, and this idea was laughed at by the British wrestling community, who thought there was absolutely no way they could pull this off. But boy did they ever. Let me just read out some of the names who were featured in the tournament. Alberto Del Rio, Bobby Fish, Drew McIntyre, Ray Phoenix, James Storm, Jay Lethal, Keith Lee, Kyle O'Reilly, Kushida, Marty Scurll, Matt Sydal, Nick Aldis, Pentagon Jr., Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Will Ospreay, and Zack Sabre Jr., just to name a few. This tournament would take place throughout the majority of 2017, all while WCPW were continuing to hold their own shows, including travelling abroad for the first time to places such as Scotland, Germany, and America for Mania weekend. It was also around this time that Martin Kirby, one of WCPW's most over wrestlers, won the world title, in my favourite all-time moment for the promotion. It was great. The tournament would conclude on August 26, 2017, with Kushida defeating Ospreay in the finals to win, and the whole tournament was a huge success. However, soon after this, things would start to change for WCPW. First of all, on September 19, 2017, WhatCulture Wrestling announced the departures of Adam Pacitti, Adam Blompier, Sam Driver, Jack King, and King Ross. While these departures mainly affected the WhatCulture bottom line, this did also have somewhat of an effect on WCPW, which I will explain later. And then just 11 days after this, WCPW then announced that they would be renaming and rebranding to Defiant Wrestling starting December 4th. It seems that they were really trying to reinvent themselves. Fast forward to December 4th, where Defiant is officially born, and they have their first pay-per-view on this night to welcome you to Defiant Wrestling. And on this pay-per-view, the main thing you notice with the card is that there is a significant lack of star power compared to the previous WCPW shows. And as the pay-per-views went on throughout the years, it was apparent that the days of shows with names such as Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio, Matt Hardy, Cody Rhodes, and other international wrestling superstars was long gone. And it seemed as though Defiant were focused on the British wrestling scene. Now that's not to take away from the action, there were some great people wrestling there. Kaylee Ray, for example, was there. She's brilliant. They would only occasionally have international stars such as Austin Aries, Pac, and Will Ospreay making appearances, and if you looked at the YouTube channel numbers, you would see that Defiant had lost a lot of viewers and were nowhere near getting the same amount of viewership that they were during the WCPW dates. Ironically enough, their biggest draw, or one of their biggest draws, was Simon Miller, who had only recently started wrestling. Through 2018 and 2019, it had become very apparent that Defiant Wrestling had fallen. In 2016 and 2017, we saw Kurt Angle and Rey Mysterio, whereas now we're seeing these local UK guys, which, not to take away from them, they're very good, but they are nowhere near as popular as your Kurt Angle and Rey Mysterio is. Defiant continued on through 2018 and 2019, with thousands of loyal fans still watching, but not as much as there used to be. And on June 29th, 2019, Defiant helped Build to Destroy 2019. And after this show, Defiant went silent for a bit, not holding any shows. And sure enough, on August 2nd, 2019, Defiant Wrestling closed its doors and ceased operations. Many wrestlers took to social media, past and present, for WCPW and Defiant to pay their respects and reminisce on the great times they had in WCPW. So what happened? What were the reasons why WCPW/Defiant Wrestling died? Let's break it down. I have 3 main reasons. Let's talk about it. First of all, the staff departures. Though you do have to take into account that Blompier, Pacitti, whatever, they were more affecting the WhatCulture Wrestling YouTube channel by leaving, they were still gonna affect the WCPW channel. Like, people stopped watching WhatCulture as a whole after these left, including not watching WCPW. And if you look at the numbers, like I said, Simon Miller, who was a personality on WhatCulture, he was one of WCPW's biggest draws, and I can guarantee you there were people watching WCPW to see these guys even though they aren't wrestlers, because it's cool to see these guys mixing in with wrestlers, and I guess maybe when they left people thought that it wasn't really the same anymore. Number 2 is how they changed completely from WCPW to Defiant Wrestling. WCPW and Defiant Wrestling feel like 2 completely different eras, because WCPW was bringing in all these international stars, whereas Defiant seemed like a whole different promotion. And it could just be the simple thing where someone sees they're subscribed to Defiant Wrestling, clicks on the channel, sees matches that aren't similar to WCPW and think, what the hell is this? When did I subscribe to this? And just don't know what it is. It's as simple as that. But the problem for me, the main thing I think, was that WCPW, they blew their load too quickly. Right from their first year of operations, they were bringing in Kurt Angle, Matt Hardy, Rey Mysterio, and they must have spent way too much money, because when they rebranded to Defiant, they were using a lot less popular names. And when you go from this huge international wrestling company with Kurt Angle and all these big names to just a British wrestling company, you're going to alienate your fans, and most of your viewers aren't going to stick around. And that's exactly what happened. And then the third reason, which was just the nail in the coffin, NXT UK. Obviously, Defiant, they became a UK promotion. Remember what I said about Kaylee Ray being there? Kaylee Ray's awesome, but when NXT UK formed, people like Kaylee Ray were taken out of WCPW. So not only did Defiant turn into a British promotion, but then NXT UK came around and limited what they could do as a British promotion. It was just unlucky, really. The year they decided to rebrand as a big wrestling UK promotion is when NXT UK forms, and sure enough, they poach all their talent, and, you know, that was it, really. And yeah, that's it for the rise and fall of WCPW. There were a couple of things I didn't mention, such as, you know, the YouTube demonetization thing, because I didn't really think that was worth mentioning again. And yeah, that was it for WCPW. I call it WCPW over Defiant because that's where my memories come from. When it switched to Defiant, I wasn't really watching as much, but what a great promotion they were for that first 2 years. Absolutely brilliant, and some awesome memories that I'll always have from this promotion. So, to anyone who ever worked on WCPW, other than any of the wrestlers who were exposed recently, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, smack the like button. I'm catching a flight in about 6 hours from now, so I'm going to edit this really quickly and schedule it. I'm going to be back in the UK. I don't know what my upload schedule will be when I'm back there. We'll have to wait and see. But thank you guys for watching. Like the video if you did enjoy. Follow me on Twitter at Top 10 Wrestling. My Instagram is at I'm Tom Bell. Check me out on Patreon, where the WCPW Classic Pay-Per-View review will be posted really soon. Not sure when, not sure what pay-per-view. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll do some sort of poll. And yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Subscribe, notifications on. See you all soon. Goodbye, and keep on rolling.
Kickback, chilling out, maxing, relaxing. Summertime weather, fantastic. Kickback, I'ma crack another cold one. Barbecue chicken almost done. Kickback, hey, all the shorties came through and my friends came too. Survive at the kickback, yeah, and we live from the kickback. What's up? They making fun of me, they say that I don't season my chicken. That ain't true though, cause I put the salt and pepper up in it. Not for real, I just cover it in Sweet Baby Ray's. If anybody got suggestions, you can send them my way, cause I've been cooking. And I got my friends with me. Sometimes you need a little kickback remedy. And what you know about this starting 6 on the aux chord?